The following program is a production of HEW Entertainment, heard on the official website of HEW Entertainment. It's that time once again for HEW Entertainment Radio.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Hosted by Jonathan Clarke.
To beat the man, you gotta beat the man. Whoa!
Be sure to join us in the live chat room during the show.
Hulkamania is running wild like it's never ran before.
Call us on one of our request lines. If you live in the United States, call us at 1-641-985-7800, box number 3729280. If you're from Canada and would like to call us from 1-647-724-4194, box number 3729280. Long distance charges may apply in some areas.
I've been the world heavyweight champion 10 times.
Or you can always drop us a line at MySpace, myspace.com/HEW Entertainment.
And you will rest in peace.
Emailing us works for you too. Email us HEWWrestling@hotmail.com.
I am a wrestling god. JBL.
And now, without any further ado, here is your host of HEW Entertainment Radio on the official website of HEW Entertainment, Jonathan Clarke.
The champ is here.
HEW Entertainment Radio with my boy Jonathan Clarke. Kelly, you suck. And anybody else out there that thinks they're better than me, you suck. So tune in every time he's on the air, or I will find you.
I'm Jonathan Clarke, very pleased to welcome to my show for the first time in his 4-year refereeing career on the Independents, from North Carolina, referee Denis. How you doing, Denis?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
Pretty good. One thing I notice about these referees are they go by their first name. There's referee Zach. I interviewed a guy named referee Lynn. Now you're referee Denis. What is it with the first name and then attaching referee to it? How come nobody goes by referee Denis Calypso or something like that, you know?
I don't know. Maybe it's because we got weird last names or something. Mine's kind of hard to say sometimes, so
yeah.
It's easier to say referee Denis. So.
Right. So 4 years ago, was this something you always wanted to do, or did it just kind of happen for you? Did a promoter just come up to you and say, hey, you're refereeing tonight? Or?
Well, I've always been a big wrestling fan since I was real little, so I knew a couple of guys that were in the business, and one of the promoters here in Hendersonville, he had his own promotion. He's been doing it for, I think, 8 years now, and he used to come to the shows, you know, sit in the front row, give all the wrestlers a hard time, and when he had a super show one night, and he asked me if I wanted to be a security guard, and I told him I would, and a couple weeks later, he asked me if I wanted to become a referee, and cause at the time he just had one, so I said sure, and a few weeks later I started training to be a ref, and here I am today.
Yeah. You mentioned the training thing. A lot of people look at refereeing and say all a referee does is really stand in the corner, count the falls, but it's not as easy as it looks. I've spoken to a lot of referees over the last 13 years, and there's a lot of training and a lot of understanding to being a referee. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely. I am I'm over at Full Momentum Wrestling, which we do shows on Saturday nights over in Waynesville and Science Creek and Fairview. And I'm actually training my 15-year-old son to be a referee, and he's actually been in the ring with some of them, so he knows exactly kind of how hard it is too. So
yeah,
it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, and it's been said a lot that friends are hard to come by in this business. Who are some of the people you know? You mentioned you knew several of them getting into the business. Who are some of your closest friends?
I don't know. There's a lot, but just to name a few, there's a guy that we started hanging out. His name is Crucifix, and he's been all over the place. He's a really good wrestler. He made the top 500 in the PWI last year, and he'll probably be in it this year. And then the guy that he was training, Exodus, and of course along the way I've actually been in the ring with Gunner and Murphy from TNA. So, to see them guys on TV is really awesome. So,
Right.
and of course, to hang out with, a few guys like Ricky Morton and George South and Jimmy Valiant, that's pretty cool. Sometimes, I watched them when I was younger, but,
Did you read Jimmy Valiant's book?
No, I have not had a chance to do that yet. I'm wanting to, so.
He talks.
I've heard it was really good. So.
Yeah, he talks a lot about, drugs and politics and stuff in the book. When I interviewed him, he talked about, the contents of his book, and it seems very interesting. I haven't actually read the book, but in the book it details, like, a lot of personal problems, and that's one thing that I think wrestlers believe will sell a book, an autobiography, if they talk about their personal problems, and in a lot of cases it does. Could you ever see yourself writing a book, or?
Hopefully one day. I think that would be pretty cool to write my life story about, being a referee and meeting, about being a referee in the business and what the good and the bads are of what you see in it. So
Right.
I know there's a lot of drama involved in it. So, and I kind of try to stay away from that as much as possible.
Yeah, I understand what you mean there. Now, what's the biggest problem you see a promoter doing these days? Is it not promoting the show? Is it not selling the matches right? What's the biggest problem that a promoter is doing that needs some correction?
There's a few things really. There's a lot of times they bring in wrestlers that really don't know how to work, and that don't work the crowd good. They come in there and just, the guys train 2 weeks, I put them in a ring and expect them to do good. That doesn't help. And I've seen a lot of promoters put belts on themselves, and I kind of disagree with that. If you're going to put a belt on somebody, make sure it's somebody else and not the promoter.
Yeah, like...
that has a lot to do with it.
Everybody wants to be a Jeff Jarrett, it seems. Everybody wants to be a Jeff Jarrett or Sting or something, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a sad...
There's a lot of goods and bads about the wrestling business, but I just, I like to referee a good old-fashioned, old-style wrestling match. I think that's the best kind there is.
When you see fans bringing signs to independent shows that say, bring back 80s wrestling, I think that's a good indication to a promoter what the fans are really looking for, right?
Oh, definitely. That's like the promotion I'm at now, which is Full Metal Wrestling. We have the old style wrestling, but we also kind of blend it in with the new kind of wrestling, so it kind of keeps both of the type of fans interested in it, So, we got the old style 80s, and then we got the 90s and 2000, wrestling entertainment kind of mixed in together. So we kind of keep it interesting. So
yeah.
But,
what about the fans? Do you like talking with the fans and intermingling with them when they show up at the independent shows, signing autographs and stuff? How do you find the fans?
Oh, definitely. Especially intermissions or something. You get out there and you got the kids wanting autographs, and you get to talk to the fans, kind of give them input about, how the wrestling business is. And I get a lot of fans, especially little kids that want autographs, and I'm more than glad to give autographs,
Oh, yeah.
And especially the little kids, they're the ones that kind of look up to you anyway, so.
Yeah, they're the ones that looked at wrestlers as superheroes, and I myself one time looked at wrestlers as superheroes, and I still do at 25. No.
No, I know the feeling. I watch wrestling if it's, on on TV or if it's, you know, watching on the internet, I'm still amazed at, you know, how these guys do that, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, one of these days I could change my interview name from Jonathan Clarke to Aqua Interview Man.
Yeah.
You know, that would work. How do you feel?
Oh, yes.
How do you feel the internet represents professional wrestling? Do you think it's a good promotional tool for wrestlers to use through YouTube and Facebook that's really taken off in the last 5 years? Or
Well, I definitely think so. I mean, everybody seems to be on the internet, and now, you know, you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you know, MySpace, you know, and wrestlers or referees, you know, basically want to get their name out, get on the internet. I mean, because everybody's on there, you know. If you get on YouTube, all you got to do is type in that guy's name, and it'll pop up, and you got his matches and everything. So, I mean, I think it's a good tool,
yeah, I mean,
especially to promote, you know, wrestling promotions to get, you know, say, hey, we're going to be in such and such, you know, somewhere in North Carolina or South Carolina or someplace like that. So.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. And I mean, you found this show through YouTube. You said you found some of my audio commentaries and interviews over at Jonathan Clarke 22, and now you know what the show is all about and what this one's going to sound like when it comes out.
Definitely.
So the internet, it benefited you to some extent. Let's see here. And then there's the thing about people using YouTube to post backyard wrestling footage. Is that something that you agree with, or are you kind of against backyard wrestling? Now, some people say you got to start somewhere, but how do you feel about backyard wrestling?
I'm not a real big fan of it. I've been to a couple of them just to watch, and it's just, you know, anybody can, you know, get in the backyard and beat each other up, you know, and to me that's just not wrestling. You know, if somebody wants to get into the wrestling business, you know, find a promotion, get in with them, train with them, you know, and do it that way. It's just a lot easier instead of beating up your body all the time.
Yeah.
Which, you know, your body's gonna take a